This is Cathy Curry.
Have you seen the video that was posted on YouTube of yourself?
I can't watch it completely. It's too embarrassing.
So describe the night that was leading up to what we saw that was filmed.
That day, I had just found out that my father was admitted to the hospital with a terminal illness, and I was very upset. And so I drove myself to the bar to meet my boyfriend downtown Miami, and I met him there. And during that time, we ended up breaking up, and I was very upset. And I left.
So describe the relationship that you had with your boyfriend.
We were together for 2 years. We were very close. I did not know he was going to break up with me. I was very upset. Yeah.
Have you ever experienced a night like this before?
No, I have not.
Were you on call this night?
No, I was not.
Did you have to work the next day?
No, I did not.
Were you drinking alcohol on this night?
Yes, I drank a little bit of alcohol that night.
When you drink alcohol, do you normally drink to get drunk?
No, I do not.
After you broke up with your boyfriend, were you alone?
Yes, I was alone.
And why did you want to take an Uber driver?
Well, I had initially drove to the bar that night. I had no intentions of drinking, but after me and my boyfriend got in the argument and we broke up, I had a drink of alcohol, and I realized that I was not able to drive home, so I left my car there and I called an Uber.
And when you attempted to enter the Uber car, did you realize that this was your Uber car, or did you think it was for someone else?
I believed it was the same Uber driver that I had called. It was the same car.
And also describe your occupation. What do you currently do?
I am a neurologist. I'm a fourth-year resident at Jackson Memorial Hospital.
And describe when you entered the vehicle. Describe some of the things that the Uber driver told you.
Well, when I first entered the Uber car, he was very aggressive and yelling at me to get out.
And why did you think he was telling you to get out?
I wasn't quite sure. I thought it was my Uber.
And what was he telling you?
He told me to get out. I was drunk. I needed to get the F out of his car, and yeah.
So describe some of the things. So when I asked you, have you seen the video? Do you remember some of the things that you were doing?
I do remember bits and pieces of it.
Have you ever experienced this behavior before?
No, not to this extent.
Have you seen any counsel for your behavior in the past?
Yes, I have.
And who are you seeing for your counsel?
I see a psychologist.
When did you start seeing this psychologist?
I began seeing my psychologist 5 years ago.
Did you ever tell your employer that you were seeing this psychologist?
No, I did not.
And why did you not tell your psychologist? Or your employer, I'm sorry.
Well, I do not have to tell my employer that I'm seeing a psychologist because it does not affect my work. And it is a known fact that being in the medical field, you do not tell employers that if you are seeing a psychologist unless it actually affects your work directly, which it does not.
Do you think that would have damaged your reputation?
Yes, I do.
Has this psychologist helped you?
Yes, she has.
In what ways?
She has helped me cope with my anxiety, which has led to depression. And I've been able to talk to her about my anxiety, and she's prescribed me with medication that helps me cope with my anxiety and depression.
Have you ever acted like this before at work?
No, I have not.
What is the likelihood of this ever happening again?
Not at all.
And at the end of the video, we saw you walking down a street, and the Uber driver and Juan Cinco were following you. Do you remember what happened after the video ended?
They followed me down the street and were yelling things at me. At that point, I just wanted to go home.
And were the police involved?
Yes, the police showed up to the scene after when I was walking away. There were 3 police officers.
Were you arrested that night, or did you spend any time in jail?
I did not spend any time in jail. I was put into handcuffs and put in the back of the vehicle, but they let me go.
Describe the conversation that you had with the police officer.
I was very compliant with the police officer. They had just came for a disturbance call, and they had taken me and put me in handcuffs, put me in the back of the vehicle, and they said that, you know, if I was compliant with them, that I would be let go.
So describe the conversation that you had with both the police officer and the Uber driver.
Well, my conversation with the police officers was very cordial. It was a very understanding conversation. With the Uber driver, after I apologized to him, and he accepted my apology, and I offered to pay him for all the damages, and he told me that the damages were going to be about $5,000, and I was very willing to pay that, and I wrote a check right there.
So in the video, we saw that you were you threw an iPod, and was there anything else that you might have damaged during this time?
I threw his phone out the window, and I threw all of the documents in his glove box out the window.
So $5,000 seems like an awful lot. Is this matching what was damaged, or do you think this exceeded that amount?
At this point, I was just very apologetic. I just wanted to do everything that would make the situation okay again. So when he said $5,000, I was very compliant with that.
And so you said the Uber driver accepted your apology, but did he accept your offer as well?
Yes, he did. He took the check.
And was the situation resolved after that?
Yes, it was. The police officer said that it was just a disturbance call. No police report was filed, and I was allowed to go home.
And how did you get home that night?
The police officers helped me call a taxi, and they waited until the taxi came to come pick me up, and that is how I got home that night.
And so after this all has happened, describe what other actions has been acted towards you. How has the community responded to this event?
Well, I've had a lot of threats made towards my family. I've had comments made where I should have been raped. There's actually a hate website that was created against me. It's taken a toll on me and my family.
Have you apologized to anyone else other than the Uber driver?
I made a public announcement on Good Morning America where I apologized for my actions.
Currently your employer has responded by suspending you currently. So you are currently off of work, is that correct?
Correct.
And do you feel like you are capable of going back to work?
Yes, I do.
And also describe the relationship that you have with your patients with the Jackson Health System.
I have a very close relationship with my patients. I work with them very closely. I have never had any issues with any of my patients before, and I'm very apologetic towards my patients for them having to see this.
When you made that apology on Good Morning America, do you feel like a lot of those patients saw that apology?
Yes, I do.
And do you think that with that good strong relationship you've had that with your patients that you mentioned, do you feel like this event would affect those patients from leaving the Jackson Health System?
Honestly, I really hope that it wouldn't. I think that with how much help and how much I've been there with my patients through the past 4 years of being a neurologist resident at Jackson Health Center, that they would understand that this is not me. It was just a really bad night altogether, and they would just know that I'm not like that.
That's all the questions that we have.
We would like to